Hello everyone, I'm Parky Johnson and I'm from Aeronautical Department, third semester A section, and the Techtalk subject is probability and statistics, and the chosen topic is confidence intervals. So let's get started. So what is confidence intervals? The objectives of confidence intervals are to define statistical interference, to describe the reasoning of statistical elimination estimations, and to describe the parts of a confidence interval, and to interrupt a confidence level, to construct and interrupt a confidence interval for the mean of a normal population, and to describe how confidence intervals behave. So these are the objectives of why we are using confidence intervals. So let's move forward. The statistical interference. So the purpose of collecting data on a sample is not simply to have data on that sample. Researchers take the sample in order to infer from that data some conclusion about the wider population presented by the sample. So we can see here the statistical interference. The statistical interference provides methods for drawing conclusions about a population from sample data, and we can see here that uh, to make any calculation on regarding the population, so we are getting a sample collected data from a representative sample, and that is used to make an interference about the population. So these notes will cover how to estimate the mean of a variable for the entire population after computing the mean by a specific sample. For example, a researcher is interested in estimating the achievement motivation of first year college students. The researcher must select a random sample of students, administrator a motivation scale, and the computer compute the average score for the entire sample. Based on this average score, he or she can then make an inference about the motivation of the entire population of first year college students. So let's see what is sample simple conditions for interference about a mean. There are certain requirements that must be met before making interferences about a population mean. The first point is the sample must be randomly selected. The variable of interest must have a normal distribution, that is sigma, in the population. The population mean is unknown, but the standard deviation sigma for the variable must be known. These conditions are very difficult to meet in a real situation, especially in social science research. There are other procedures that need to be followed when these conditions are not met. These notes will start by discussing the best case scenario when all the conditions are met. So, estimating the population mean. Confidence level. The confidence level is the overall capture rate if the method is used many times. The sample mean will vary from sample to sample, where the method estimate plus or minus margin of error is used to get an interval based on each sample. See percentage of these intervals capture the unknown population mean. In other words, the actual mean will be located within the interval C percentage of the time. So here the formula confidence interval is equal to sample mean plus or minus of margin of error. So the population mean for a certain variable is estimated by computing a confidence interval for that mean. If several random samples were collected, the mean for the variable would be slightly different from one sample to another. Therefore, when researchers estimate population means, instead of providing only one value, they specify a range of values within which is mean is likely to be located. To obtain this confidence interval, add and subtract the margin of error from the sample mean. This result is the upper limit and the lower limit of the confidence interval. The confidence interval may be wider or narrowed depending on the degree of certainty or estimation precision that is required. So here is an example of to calculate the confidence interval interval of the population. Sample mean is equal to 80, margin of error equal to 3.92, confidence level CL is equal to 95%. So finally, uh, researchers can say with 95 percentage of confidence that the population mean on the motivation scale is between 76.08 and 83.92. Hope you learn something about the confidence intervals. So this is used in the probability and statistics of applied maths, and this helps to calculate some big amount of things like population, the some complex things, to evaluate some value from that complex figure. So that is what the confidence intervals mean. Hope you have got some idea about that. And finally, this is Johnson, and thank you.